Welcome back, guys, to another inbox review from ZMSC Modelworks. Today is going to be a sponsored series and sponsored video from HobbyDesign, and they kindly sent me a couple of kits for you guys to be shown how they look and how they build and that sort of thing. So today we're going to be looking at the LB Works F430 wide body kit, and this one is based off of the coupe version. However, we're going to be doing the convertible, or the Spider. So we'll do this regular smaller box. So inside we've got 1, 2, goose bumper 3, 4, 5, instructions, and 6 with our decals and photo etch. So we'll go ahead and look through the instruction manual first, and then we'll come to these bags and the decals after that. So first off, the usual layout of what's included. So we've got tires and rims, brakes, exhaust, the bumper, the front bumper lip, side skirts, fenders front, fenders rear, rear air diffuser, spoiler, and then the wheel faces. We've also got 3 small, or 1 large and 2 small photo etch frets, 2 different decal sheets, and then we've also got a bunch of pins and other resin accessories here as well. So a lot of stuff here, and it's going to make for an interesting build. Now, the bumper lines and stuff here we're probably going to have to figure out later on in the build and see how they actually get cut, but we'll get to that when we get there. It kind of looks like the rear diffuser is replaced, the front bumper's cut, and then right along that intake line is where the side skirts fit in. So, you know, it's straightforward to show stuff where it goes, but not concise enough to tell you exactly how it goes together, which is one of the many joys of building resin kits. So let's have a look at the decals here. Just put the photo etch off to the side. Again, we get 2 sheets. We'll just zoom in here so we can have a better look. So this first one has sort of a silvery kind of decal, and then some grayed out ones as well. The LB Performance logo is white. These do look a little bit on the thick side, but all in all, nice, clean and crisp, all the way down to the small LB F430 logos there, the LB Performance, and then Imagine All the People Living in Peace logo. So that's nice. And then the other set here is kind of the white and the black versions, the LB Performance stuff in yellow as well as the Dunlop. That's identical to the first one. Yeah, these ones got silver kind of brake calipers, and the other ones have like a red tinge to them. So decals are very nice. I'm going to enjoy trying to pick which one or which set I'm going to use. Onto the photo etch here. This is the main photo etch sheet. So we've got brake discs, intake grills for the front, the rear, and then the upper intakes, windshield wipers, pedals, footwells. And it looks like the portion of the sequential gears and license plate frames as well. And that one's very nice. And then we've got what looks like some interior detail here. So I think these are the headrest mesh. And we've also got some speaker grills as well as the mirrors. And then we also have the smallest, a small photo etch fret here. And this one has your badges, logos, seat belts, I think a fuel filler cap as well. But very, very nice. And because it's 3D, if you can find the decals to fit that and get them to sit down, just with the 3D, it's going to make the decals pop quite nicely. So very nice all in all. Now I'm going to start moving on to, I guess we'll start with the wheels and tires here. So there's two bags that these are separated into. The tires just by themselves, again, nice rubber, looks like Pirellis. We've got our wheels here. These are actually turned aluminum rims. So nicely polished. So you can leave that natural or you can paint it. It's up to you. But it's got the nice lip in there to fit the rim face. And just a wonderful piece to come in out of the box. Most of the time they give you resin pieces. HobbyDesign is known for some of their higher end kits. What they'll do is they'll do aluminum turned rims. And that's very, very nice. Then you've also got the wheel faces here. So nice detail going on around the edge of the rim. Also have the wheel lugs in there as well. Little to no flash. Could use a little cleanup, but that little bit of cleanup is going to make the big difference when we go to put these on the actual model and paint them. And then, as usual, we've got the bag with our air valves for the rims and tires. I got to figure out where these actually go, because if they go into the rim, I'm going to be drilling into aluminum, and that's going to be some fun. But if they just go into the valve stems, if they go into the wheel face, it's going to be a little bit easier because it's resin. Actually, let's have a look and see if it shows on the instructions where it wants to go. I'm not sure if it shows. Not that I can see anyways. I'll send Michael off an email then and ask him exactly where these go, or I just look it up online and find it that way. So that's it for the rims. We'll go ahead and put these all back in. I think there's two different sizes of well, yeah. So there's a front and a rear. So just check those before installing. Next bag we got here is some seatbelt detail as well as seatbelt buckles that go in on the bottom of the seats, and then some mounting hardware, it looks like. It's a nice fabric texture on that. Now, moving into the body parts. We'll start with the bumper here. So, it's very GT-esque. It looks like there's some thin section here that can be cut out, and then it's got all the stock mounting holes on the inside here, which is also very, very nice. And just a couple of well, this ejector mark here, or the yeah, so this bigger rectangle part here is going to have to be removed, but take note that that little small locating pin here is going to have to stay, so be careful when you're cutting that off. Same thing with these locating tabs up here. You want to keep that, but cut down right on that brace. So there's the bumper, the front bumper anyways. Now we've got in this bag all of our fenders. So the wide wheel arches that LB Works is known for. It's very sturdy arches, and it looks like the rivets are actually molded in here, so they're not actually a separate part. I'm certain that you could drill those out and detail them and a little bit more, add a little bit of splash of detail to it, or you can leave them in and then use a toothpick with some paint and detail those up. But those are the rear fenders. Front fenders, very nice. I think this larger chunk here is going to have to be cut off, and then this sort of L-shaped bracket, that's going to be a feature that's going to mount to the actual inside of the fender on the F430, so there might be some fender surgery we're going to have to perform, which we'll find out at a later date. Our exhausts here, these are molded in resin. And those look really, really nice. We've got a two locating tabs here on the top, and then just cut off those blocks from the pour spouts. But they're nice and thin and nice and sharp, which looks nice. And then finally, we have our rear diffuser. So it's got all the locating tabs in it, here, here, and here. And then this ejector mark, or not ejector mark, sorry, pour spout, that's going to have to be sanded off. And then that photo etch piece fits in there. There's a little bit of surface ablation going on here, so you might want to head in with a small piece of sandpaper and clean that up after you prime it, just to make sure it's a nice smooth surface, especially if you're going to be doing this in say carbon fiber. So just take note of that. There's body bag 1 and body bag number 2 is going to be our brake assemblies. They're molded in one piece. And there are locating tabs for what I'm assuming is left and rights, front and rears, so you can't get them mixed up. Here's our front lip. This is what's going to attach into the front bumper, and it's got those small little locating pins there for the from what we saw on the front bumper, so those holes just fit in like that. But obviously we got to cut that tab off first, so just be careful with those little locator pins. We've got our rear ducktail spoiler. Zoom in here to be a little bit easier. Very nice. Just that small pour spout there to deal with and get rid of. Other than that, there's no cleanup work that I can see here. Possibly some on the insides when you're actually mounting it, but nice piece overall. And then we've got our two side skirts. Yeah. So I'm not sure which one goes where. I don't know if this entire upper portion here is a pour spout and then this needs to be broken off as well. So we'll have to figure that out, and then whichever side this one is, let's figure that out as well. But anyways, that is it for the inbox review, to show you what's actually contained in the kit. In the next bit, I'm actually going to be this one thing. This is a kit designed for the Fujimi F430s. It will fit on the Revell F430s as far as I know. There just might be a little bit more work involved in getting stuff like the front bumper and the rear diffuser to fit, just because they have different mounting holes and mounting systems, so that might take a little bit of scratch building to make that work with the Revell kits. But this kit is designed for the Fujimi Spider and 430 Coupe kits. So we'll see you in the next video, guys, when we start to actually build this thing up.